eyeball. So I went to grab it. Boom, the fish food. Oh,
Oh my God.
it was worse than confetti.
Oh, I think we're live.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't think I did that intentionally.
That's okay.
Oh. So anyways, it's Friday with Mona, and she has, do you have the die? Let me grab the die that,
Which
one?
one?
You have it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so
I
you
got
can
it.
show, which is going to feature. So we'll just wait for some people to sign on. That's what I think all this week. I was like dropping things, picking things up, and it was like constant. It was like contagious. It just wouldn't stop. So if you just want to wait for some eyeballs,
Sure.
you can, Shannon, what was I going to do? Oh,
Orders.
Yes. No,
Orders
I'm
from
working on
headquarters.
that.
So we're going to be working with the honeybee. This is a new release, and it's little animals. So there's a fox, a bear, and a hedgehog. I keep on calling him a groundhog.
Simona, it's a groundhog.
And also, well, I'll wait a minute. So there's a lot of dyes, as you can see, lots of dyes. And this was brought out for Valentine's, but you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be used for Valentine. So what I did in order to make things easier is see these little pieces. I'll show you the physical dye. Whoops, my poor guy, it's falling off. These are all the pieces, and these two here I kind of taped together because easily lost and then hard to find if you drop them on the floor or something. So those two are together. But this one here, I'm going to bring it up close. Let's see if it'll focus. If you can see, this set here is like oval and this set here is round. So it took me a while to figure this out, but the round ones are the bear's eyes, and these sort of ovals, you can't really tell they're ovals, but they kind of are for the inside of the big bear's ears. So that's what that is. Then this one here, I thought it was one thing and turned out to be another, and you'll see when I show you my maps. This is for the fox. These are the fox's eyes, and this is his little nose, which goes right down here. Whoops, right down here. And then our little bear, our tiny hedgehog, this is his eyes and his nose. So I think that and this is a big bear's nose too. So I think that's all explained. They do give you 3 different hearts. And now I'll show you how the pieces go. So for the fox, let me do this so we don't get confused. I just want to, maybe we'll go like this there. For the fox, this is the base, and you can see how it ends up showing. So that's the base. Then here's his body with his hands. Now, if you cut out just the base thinking you're going to get the hands, no, you have to do this overlay. So there's the base. There's the body part with hands. This is like in between. So it could be the belly, or I don't know what else it could be, but it could be the belly. This is the top part of the fox's head. The ears, see how tiny they are? But when you're putting it in, I'm going to bring this up. I don't know if you'll be able to see. There is indentation marks to tell you exactly where the pieces should go. You'll probably see it better on this whole head. You can see the eye spots, the nose, the ears. All right, so even though they're tiny and you might not know which way to go, when you put it on the head, you'll be able to see because there is that indentation like Tim Holtz did for his ones that are multi-pieces and layering. Now I have these 2 eyes, which were incorrect. His eyes are really smaller, and they're that one dye I showed you. But I like the bigger ones, in all honesty. And then I also used this for his nose as opposed to this for his nose. So that's why that's there. And then here's his tiny heart. But you could use any of the hearts that came with it because 3 sizes of hearts came. So that's the finished thing. Now, after doing this, I realized that the eyes I used were actually the ears for the big bear. So you'll see that, I learned as I went. So the next one is the hedgehog. And again, they do that, I don't know if you can see it, the lines, so you know exactly where to lay the body. And his face is kind of messed up because I took these and put them on there instead of, but anyway, and he's got a heart too, or she, however you want it. And this is when it's totally assembled. So there's the fox and the hedgehog and the parts that go with it. I think sometimes a visual of how it gets assembled is very helpful, so I call these the map. And then the bear itself, and again I'm going to block off, is this. So you'll see, there's this big body, his ears, his eyes, his nose, and his heart, and there he is assembled. Now, the hedgehog can be a baby bear. So we have a baby bear, and he's holding a balloon, which also comes with it. So you get 2 strings, 2 different, there's 3 balloons. How come I only have 2 balloons? I didn't notice that 3rd balloon. Let me check my die. Oh my gosh, I didn't know there was 3 different sizes. It's just been sitting there. Well, now I know there's 3 different sizes. So there's 3 hearts, 1, 2, 3, and there's 3 balloons, 1, 2, 3. So that's nice, and you get 2 balloon sticks. So I hope that, you can go back and look at these little maps, if you're planning on getting this. Like I said, it was made for it came out of Valentine's Day, but you don't necessarily have to use it. I could see these guys holding shamrock for St. Patrick's Day. They could be holding a gift. I saw a couple packages in my Spellbinder dies that would fit right into their little hands, because these do pop out. They're a cutout, so they lift up. I could see an Easter basket or Easter eggs or a chick. So there's lots of options there. I'm just getting another die out. Now, when I made the next samples, I used the Pretty Pink Posh, what do they call it? Sweet Note die that came out with this past release. I am going to tell you that, I think it was this one. When I first cut them out, they do give you a score line, but the score line is so close to the perforated line that I ripped numerous, just like you saw me do just now, trying to get it to fold. And I probably ruined, see, it's so close. I probably ruined, and there, it wants to fold on the perforation as opposed to the fold line. So I ruined quite a few. I think I ruined 3, and I tried a different die cutting machine and everything, and it didn't matter. So what I ended up doing, and I'm going to show you, because I really love this little container. So, or what do they call it? Sweet Note. So here's one that's all done and ready to go. But because I know I'm going to have a problem here, what I ended up doing, I'm just going to, is rescoring. The nice thing about this is it fits and it lines up in inch marks as opposed to, any of those other marks, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch. So I use one of those flower things, and this is an old thing, but if you have any of the flower shapers, I'm using this one little ball, tiniest one. And what I ended up doing was the short score is 1 inch. So I scored it and scored it. And then the next one is 4 inches. So I, scored it and scored it. Now, the first time I did it, I thought, okay, that wasn't enough. So what I ended up doing was after I scored the front, I flipped it over and scored the back too. So now I have all my scores. The next thing I did differently than I normally do, normally I'll just go like this. I took my whole hand and flipped it. After I flipped it, I right away used a bone folder, making sure it was crisp, and I do both sides. And then again on this one, rather than to just go to the fold and like go like this like I normally do, I took my whole hand and went like that, and I had no problems. So I don't know if it's the hand placement or the fact that I scored both the front and the back, but that was the only way I could get around that perforation. So there you have it. So that's how you should do that. I even tried different weight paper, thinking maybe my paper was too thick, but that really wasn't the issue. It was the fact that these perforations are so close. So here was the first card I made. We have our little hedgehog. And how I got this mat comes with it, the die. So let me get that out and show you. Oop. So when you get it, this one is attached, but you want to detach it. Otherwise, it's gonna cut this little thing out. So you don't want to do that. So when you put it through your machine, there we go. It'll go in with just this piece. And then this piece is like a mat to the front or the back, depending on how you look at it. Now, how I got these two pieces was I partially die cut this out of my pattern paper, and then I partially die cut at this end out of my pattern paper. And then all I did was take my scissors and cut the perforations. You can physically feel it cutting in that groove too, so it's very easy to do. You don't really have to worry. And that's how I got my decorative. If you're using directional though, you want to watch, because on this one I wasn't even thinking of the hearts going one way or the other, and so it's upside down. So then you got this space here. You can put in a sentiment or whatever you want. It'll fit I'm going to say it wrong, Ghirardelli candy in there very nicely. Or you could probably figure out a couple other things to put in there. Or maybe you could make a little sewing kit and put in there or something. So that's what it looks like. So there was this one that I made with the hedgehog. Then I made the fox, and I gave him wiggly eyes. So here's my little fox. And this time I did the hearts right. And on this one, I did a little stamping I used this set here. Matter of fact, I like this set so much I bought it twice. So there's this, the Happy Valentine's Day. So if I have something in here, when they open it, they'll see the Happy Valentine's Day, and then when they take the candy or whatever I put in there, then they get the, and that's from this set, which I bought also, the lips, and then the circle was from here. So there's that. So there's that one. Now the bear was kind of too big to fit on this. So he would have hung over, Just trying to find my envelope because I have a bear in here. So as you can see, the bears, I mean, you could probably get away with it, but I didn't want to do that. So there's the bear. And this will give me, see how the arms pop up because they're literally cut. So there's that. So I ended up, and I don't know if this is going to be a birthday card or a congratulations, you had a baby card, but I made this little card. So I'm trying to figure out what sentiment I'm going to put on. But in the meantime, I used the balloons. This heart came from Maker's Movement. So it's this heart. And so we got mommy or daddy, it doesn't matter, and the little baby and the balloons. And then it's either going to say congrats or happy birthday or something like that. Because he could hold a present or she. But I thought, you know, we do a lot of things with girls, so I might as well make, and all I have is grandson, so this will come in handy. So there's that card. Now the one extra thing I did for myself with this set is I cut one out of each of these, and if you want, you could lay this down just so you could get a little shadow effect there. You might want to take your stencil brush or whatever and just add a little darker color there so you see a separation, because there is a line there. So I took that line and I just trimmed it off, and I did that for the little guy too. Sorry. And then so I have that piece, or maybe you want the body darker, so I have that. I saved them both. So you could do that and have little templates in case you want to do a little more shading, or just to separate the neck from the body, whatever. But so there's that. Now, like I said, these can be used for more than Valentine's Day. They're just really, really, really cute. So let me clean up this mess here. And I'm going pretty quick, aren't I? There was the mess up. I save that as a reminder that things don't always go smooth. All right, we'll put that aside. And this aside. And, all right. The other thing I made was using the baskets, if you remember. Concord and 9th had that really cute interactive basket. So you pull it up. I say it and I still say it. It's one of the easiest interactive dies I've ever used. So I ended up using this. Silly me, not realizing there was a heart. I used an old die set and got multiple size hearts, but I could have filled the basket with this heart if I wanted to. And then we also, right after this one came out, Pretty Pink Posh brought out a basket. So I just wanted to show you that either or will work for whatever, the hearts. So I used the same hearts. This is the Pretty Pink Posh. And this Happy Valentine's saying came from Lawn Fawn. They had that one little set, and Sharon sells in the store with the die. So it has the row of hearts. I didn't bring it with me, but we do have it in the store. So here's this basket. Background is, in case you're wondering, is an old Concord and 9th from last year's Valentine release from Concord and 9th. So I don't know if we have it in the store or not, but since I pulled a lot of my Valentines, I used that. These hearts came from, and this is a really old set from I.O., but multiple sizes and shapes. So there's that one. And I think I just temporarily put it down in case I don't like this. I'm going to switch it around or something. But it'll be in the store. So that was the Pretty Pink Posh. We'll shift this over. And then this is the Concord 9th, and it's interactive. I didn't really stamp that well because I eyed it up, and then I saw it was too light, and it's like, oh, I can't eye that up again, so I just left it. If you notice, some of these hearts are embossed. And before I embossed this one, I stamped the word pull, which came from Taylor's Expressions Interactive Sayings. So I stamped that, and then the saying, I would pick you every time, that did come from the set that kind of mirrors this one right here. So it's in here. I would pick you every time. So that's kind of cute. I didn't glue this down because I wanted to remind you of how this goes together. So there's this little piece here. That's the slider. And if you look at the die, I think I have some in here yet. Yeah. Let me get this out for you. Of course, I gotta pull everything out. This is the interactive piece along with this piece. And I just wanted to refresh your memory on how to do it. It says glue. So when you're gluing it to the full basket, let's see if I have another full basket cut out. I have another one ready. Okay. I don't have a full basket cut out, so let's just grab this. So it's actually gonna, you have this basket piece right here, which is this part here. Then you have the backing for that, which is this one here, and it's solid, so it would go behind. And when they show the glue, that what they're talking about from this side, which is face up, you're only going to put glue here for this one. So this solid one that I don't have, sorry, is what gets glued to the interactive part. The interactive part is very easy to work. You just fold these tabs. And the reason you're folding them is just to get them in there to that slot. See that slot? And then you can, if you want, open it up. And what I have been doing is making this an element all by itself so that I don't have to put it down right away. Because I know I've told you guys this a million times. I like to move my stuff around. I don't want to put it down and say, oh, I didn't want it there. So this is what the back looks like. I follow the glue guide. So now see, it says, I'll bring it up closer. Now it says glue on this side. So I only want you to put glue here. And that's because you need to be able to have this move. But I don't use glue. I like it to pop up. I think it moves better. So I follow kind of their guide, as you can see. And then I actually pull it all the way up to make sure it clears. You'll see that I put my foam in the center also. Not on the slider, but on this piece. So let's pull this out just so you can see what I'm talking about. This piece. Now I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. It's really, you don't have to do that. You could just follow what they say and do the glue, and it would still slide because it has room. I just like to give it extra room, so that's why. And I do pull it all the way up to make sure I have clearance and make sure I'm not stopping it too soon or not stopping it soon enough. And for this particular one, I wanted this heart to pop a little too, like everything else, so it wasn't kind of dangling back. Because it's going to go like this, so the whole thing will be popped. But I didn't want to have it on the heart where I'm grabbing, so that's why it's down there really close. I couldn't put it on here because then it would be too close to the top. I guess I could have kind of done it right there, but I didn't. And then you just have to make sure that you're not hindering this. So where it stops, then once it's stopped, then I checked my lines and I put my tape down. So it was like that. So now that you see it, then I can attach it. Now I won't take the tape off of this one because if I do that, then I can't pull it. But all the rest I can take the tape off and glue it down. And then it'll be permanent. And once again, I use that Lawn Fawn. So just a refresher on that, and let you know that either or these can be used for Valentine's Day. You'll probably see another one with shamrocks and maybe one with eggs. But know that when you buy it's not necessarily for fall. You can use it all year round. Granted, they do give you, the fall stuff. So you have, your apple, your pumpkin, now strawberry would be spring. And like I said, I didn't recall having a heart, and then I said, oh my gosh, I have a heart. This is for your sign and stuff. And then the pretty pink posh, even though it's mostly fall stuff, your leaves, your pumpkins, your squash, acorns, you can add whatever you want to it. So if you have one or the other basket, you can use it all year round. So I think that's it. I don't know if there's any questions, but Marie says she loves Concord 9. So do I. Actually, I'm a collector of Concord 9. So you can see I save all my extras because who knows when I'll be making something else. There's pumpkin one. And I love the sayings. This you could have put you are so sweet. That would have been a cute Valentine one to do also, and it matches this die here. So you have a lot of options. Don't put your baskets away thinking that they're only for fall. They're for spring, summer, whatever. Because this basket can do strawberries. Now you see it does hearts. Of course, it can do shamrocks. So. And I did use these two sets also in helping me with my sayings and stuff. Each set has a die set that goes with it. This one's really cute. The seal was sealed with a kiss and a whole bunch of sayings that go with the large word. And then they have the large words, the shadow, and the lips. So I hope you learned something new today. If you have any questions, I'm in the store till 6. Feel free to call. Sharon, do you have anything that you want to say?
I'm just going to see him tomorrow.
Sharon says she'll see you tomorrow at 9:30 is her start time. Have a nice evening. Stay warm. Thank you.